Welcome back to Mafuba Jar. We've been sitting away for another awesome deck profile. And today, guys, I'm going to be showing you an updated version of what is possibly one of my most favorite DBS decks of all time. And that's going to be the Green Broly movie deck from Set 6. Now, this leader came to us in a Set 6 starter deck, and this is arguably the most difficult starter deck to get your hands on because it has so much, very much valuable cards, including the Paragus Super Combo, which every green deck absolutely needs. So let's go ahead and take a look at him. For those of you who don't remember, it has been quite some time. So his activate mains, you get to choose one green Frieza's army card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, add it to your hand, and then you negate the skill for the duration of the game. So it's a one-time searcher, but you don't really have to pay any cost for it. You don't have to pay an energy, you don't have to pitch a card, take a life, anything like that. You just search. He awakens at 4 less life, you draw a card and restand energy. And you flip him over to the Broly Evil Unleashed. I never understood. I've made this joke before, not really a joke, but a notice. But I've never understood why they call him evil, because the point of the movie, like the whole biggest seller, was the fact that he's not evil. But whatever. His permanent states that if there are 2 or more battle cards in play in your battle area, you can't play battle cards. So yes, when you're facing Android 21. This makes it very difficult. So that's one of your worst matchups in this. We'll talk about matchups in a minute here. His auto is the biggest part of the deck. It's Sparking 7, which that's not going to be difficult at all whatsoever. When this card attacks, you get to draw a card until you have 6 cards in your hand. It's almost a double-edged sword, but not really. Like, let's say if you already have 6 or more cards, you're not drawing when he attacks. But let's say if you have like less than 5, let's say you have like 3, 2, 1, you're drawing so many cards. And if you have no cards in hand, you're drawing yourself a first hand of 6. So, good side is that with hand destruction coming back, this leader is basically immune to it because you can just refill your hand every single turn. So, hand destruction is nothing to worry about with this deck. So, as I said, with matchups go, the only 2 real harsh matchups that I could think of with this deck would be Android 21 and also the new updated Gohan. Because to beat Gohan, you have to be really defensive at first, and that's something that this deck is almost not capable of. So but in a way, this deck is also it's like the original Gohan, to where you have to win with like the first 2 or 3 turns. But this deck makes it very, very possible to do that. It's still a very big contender. And I forgot to mention his activate main. I am so sorry about that, guys. You get to choose one of your battle cards and one of your opponent's battle cards. You get to KO them both. Which really helps with your strategy, because your whole strategy involves getting rid of your own battle cards to play bigger versions and just keep going like crazy. So now, main deck here, we've got 2 copies of Broly Unrealized Ambition. This is typically what you're going to be searching for with your leader skill. So he's got 2 autos here. First one is when you play this card from your hand, and if your leader card's a green Frieza's army, you have to take 2 life and add it to your hand. So this helps you awaken super quickly. Second auto is that if this card is removed from battle area by a skill or KO'd, and you get to take 1 or 2 life, add it to your hand, and you're going to need to play a green Broly 4-drop from your hand. And that's going to be this guy right here, the Broly Berserker Origins. So he's a 15k swinger. He's got an activate battle, you get to pitch a card from your hand and KO one of your opponent's battle cards. That's 3 costs or less. And his auto is that when his card is removed from battle area, by pretty much any means, you get to go ahead and pitch 2 cards from your hand and play a 6-drop Broly BR from your hand. And that's going to be the Power Unleashed Broly here. So he has 25,000 power, double strike, and his permanence is that during battles with his card is attacking, your opponent can't activate counter skills with energy cost of 2 or more. So this card is immune to Mafuba, which that's really, really cool right there. But I know there's other 2-drop counters out there. Cannot play him whatsoever with this guy. So got an activate battle. It's the same thing as his, except of it being a 3 cost or less, it's any battle card whatsoever. And same thing with the 4-drop. When he's removed from battle area, you pitch 2 cards and you get to play an 8-drop. And that's going to be our Broly Limage Transcend. Now this is your big buff guy right here. He's got double strike, permanent the exact same, can't activate counters that are 2 costs or more when he attacks. And his activate battle's the exact same, except it ignores barriers, so it's popping almost everything. which this is kind of like your only real method of defense other than your obvious negates. So this does offer a little bit of defense, but mainly just for the offense, being able to pitch cards and draw more when your leader when he attacks. Not to mention a 35k double strike on top of everything else you're dishing out of your opponents. You're most likely going to kill him by turn 3. It is possible to kill your opponent on your second turn. I will say that. You're going first, and then on your second turn, it is absolutely possible to just kill your opponent right then and there. So that does it for the Broly cards. Now we're going to get into our support cards here. The first one's going to be 2 copies of Paragus the Sacrifice. This is another card we are able to search with our leader Unawakened side. And he's a 1-drop. And his activate means that you choose another green card from your battle area, place it in the drop area, and draw 1 card. This is the way that we get our Brolys in the drop area to activate their skills. Not to mention you're drawing, and he's just staying there so you can do it every single turn. One of our main ways of doing everything here is the 4 copies of Paragus Rampage Trigger. Now, his auto states that when you play this card from your hand, you get to choose 1 Broly control mechanism from your deck and activate it. He also does have an activate main. You choose this card and 1 card in your battle area, place them in the owner's drop area, and you can either search your deck for a Broly BR that's a 6 that costs 6 or less, or you can get back any Broly BR from your drop area. Both are pretty relevant because you're discarding so many cards with your engine here. And a little bit of dirt on these. I should have cleaned these a little bit better. Sorry, guys. And as I said, that's probably the main way of getting it out. And here is the control mechanism you are able to search with it. So it's a field card, and its activate means you get to place this card in your drop area along with a Broly BR there. You place them both there, and you get to draw a card. So it's kind of like the Paragus Sacrifice, except you're not. It's a way you have to get rid of it, but it is searchable. I'm thinking about cutting this down to 2, but on the other hand, if you don't draw into the Paragus and you draw into this, you can still get your combos off just fine. So it's between 3 and 2. I ran this at 4 for the longest time, but I noticed it was getting too cloggy, especially for defense purposes. Like, I can't really do that with extra cards. So, especially not with these. Next up here, we are going to be running 3 copies of Golemite, the new breed. Now, this is kind of a pseudo Senzu Bean for our Brolys here, because it's a 5k combo, and if you combo during your turn, you get to choose one of your Broly BR cards, and it gains 5,000 for the turn. So, it's like a pseudo super combo or pseudo Senzu Bean, because if you're attacking with, like, say, the 8-drop, you combo with this, you can give this 45, or, like, let's say if you're attacking with another Broly, you could give it to your leader, you could give it to any of your Brolys whatsoever. So it's a pseudo super combo / pseudo Senzu Bean, be able to boost something by 5k. As I said, the biggest reason why this deck is so difficult to find, you've got your 3 copies, you got your 4 copies here of Defending Father Paragus. Now this is arguably the best super combo for green in the game. So when you combo with this card, your leader is green and your life's at 4 or less, you draw 2, then you send a card from your hand to the warp. So it just helps you dig through your deck so quickly. Not to mention, you're going to be at least 4 life by your second turn, so this card is almost always live. And as I said, anything that's green is playing this card, just because of how much draw power you get. And with set 8, we are playing a little bit of the successor engine here. Going to be playing 2 copies of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and 2 copies of the Super Saiyan Goku. Now, how successor works is that you pay the energy required after when it says successor, and you choose any number of green, yellow, or multi that meet the cost of 8 up here, send them to the drop area, and you need to go ahead and play this guy right here. He's a 30k triple strike, and his auto is that once per turn when his card attacks, choose up to 1 yellow Sun Goku in your drop area and combo it with this card. And this is the Goku here you're going to be doing. You're not worried about the activate main here, because the activate main involves a cell, and we're not playing anything. Well, no, we're not playing the cell by that name. It's a little bit of a spoiler. So his auto states that when you combo with this card from your drop area, you get to choose up to 1 green multicolor Sun Gohan in your battle area and switch it to active mode. So if you have this in your drop area and you combo with this, you're essentially giving yourself a triple strike dual attack. So on top of everything else, that's just really, really brutal. And in a second, I am going to go over with all the possible combos for you to pull off your successor. But we have one more successor in this deck. and that's going to be the Cell Xeno Unspeakable Ambition. I don't have the Broly Secretor, unfortunately, but I do have this one to show you guys. So he has a Quadruple Strike, Deflect, and Successor with no energy cost whatsoever. All you have to do is just place the cards in your drop area, and boom, you play him. His auto is not the most relevant, but it can be. If you have 5 or more energy, when you play this card, you choose up to 3 cards from your opponent's hand, place them in the drop area, and this card gains dual attack for the duration of the turn. With this particular leader, you will almost never pull it off because whether you win or lose, the game's going to be decided by 3 energy, sometimes 4. But I don't think I've ever gone to 5 energy with this deck, and I've been playing this deck since it came out. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the bits of combos here that you can do with your successors. Actually, no. Let's be pretty. Let's be pretty and get out the other Gohan. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the combos. But these first, I will go over to Gohan. The most realistic combo that you're going to find yourself in to bring out the Gohan is going to be the 6-drop Broly and the 2-drop Paragus. Because this gives you 8 energy, and it'll add up to your successor right here. Another situation you could find yourself in, not as realistic to happen, but you can have the 2 of the Broly Berserker Origins out, and be able to combo them off into this right here. And what's really cool about Successor is that it does go off. It does still activate their auto. So let's say if you do have... Let's say you do have these 2 out, and you go ahead and play Successor with them. You are able to activate the 6-drop effect and get out your 8-drop Broly. So you have a triple striker and a double striker that can't be Mafuba'd. Plus you have the Goku in there. That's just so much damage right there. And now we're gonna go over to Cell 1. Now your realistic one for Cell, which does happen to me quite a bit, is you're gonna have 2 copies of the 6-drop Broly out. Getting rid of these 2 for the Cell Successor, and once again, it activates this, so you get to go ahead and play out your Broly with that, and boom, you're just looking at a disgusting board right there. One that can happen, which again, this one is far less realistic, but it is possible, so have your 8-drop and 4-drop out, send them away for the Cell Xeno. And you are able to activate the 4-drop to get out your Broly, your 6-drop. But yeah. Those are just the battle card combinations you can get out to play the 2 successor cards. Successor is a really good engine in this deck. And honestly, I do really like this card for the deck because it can activate some stuff. But you do have to have 2 battle cards to activate it, while as the Broly Secret you just have to have one of your 8-drops leave the field. So it's up to you guys which one you're able to get and which one you prefer. And that is going to do it for the battle cards. Now we're going to get straight to our extra cards here. Going to be running 4 copies of Frieza's Call. So you play this yellow energy here. You choose a Frieza's Army with an energy cost of 2 or less. Play in rest mode, then shuffle your deck. So you're able to play a 2-drop Paragus for 1 energy, but you don't get his first auto because that's from hand. The biggest thing you can do is you can go ahead and play the Broly here. So let's say your opponent disrupts you a bit and you need to get another 1-drop to start your combo again. You could Frieza's Call the other 1-drop from your deck, and it doesn't activate the first auto, because the first auto to take 2 life only activates if you play him from hand. If you play it from deck or drop area, it won't activate that. You still have to pay the minimum of 1 life for a second auto, but paying 1 life is better than paying 3 to 4 life. So that's the main purpose this card serves. We are going to be running 4 copies of Shocking Death Ball. Being able to pop a 2-drop or less on top of negating an attack is really, really good. Not to mention, you will get to your Sparking 5 extremely quickly, so it is a free negate that you pay by just taking a life. He is Frieza's Army, so of course we are going to be running our 1 Cold Bloodlust. Even at 1, it is too good not to run. Being able to just negate skills or whatever's played. We are going to be running 2 copies of Focus Breakthrough. If the counter play states that if your leader card is green, if your life is at 4 or less, which we're going to get there by turn 2. The battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less. It's placed in a drop area instead of being played. So really, really cool. If you have a multicolor in play, you get to take a life instead, but we're not going to really worry about that. I'm also going to be running 2 copies of Wailing Spirit. This is another case scenario, say if your opponent disrupts your plays a little bit. you get to go ahead and choose one Broly BR when the energy cost of 4 from your deck, negate auto for the turn, and play it. So you're able to get your 4-drop here. You're not able to activate its auto, obviously, with it, but it does give you a little bit of an option there. Not to mention if your opponent, your opponent can't really like deal with this, or else they risk activating your chain again to be able to go back to the 6-drop to pop stuff. So it's something. Not to mention it only negates the auto. It does not negate anything else, so you can still use it to activate battle if it does come up. And the last 2 cards we're running here is going to be 2 copies of Tragic Awakening. Very, very good card. So Sparking 7 for 3 energy. When you play this card, you have to pick an energy, place it in a drop area, and then you get to play a Broly BR with an energy cost of 6 or less and play it. So another way to ensure you still go through in case you're disrupted. Go ahead and play this out for just 3 energy, and boom, your combos are alive again. Now, I am not playing the Anilaza in this deck because with how this deck works, you can't afford that. Well, if you play the Anilaza, it has to go on rest mode at first. You cannot afford to play any multi-cards in your energy. You can't afford that 1 turn of having your energy in rest, because once you're playing this deck, you have only a couple turns to really win the game. Because even though we do have some recovery cards, this deck, I will admit, is not good at recovery. So once you have all that steam when you play, you gotta just dish it all out to your opponent at once. You just gotta make sure they are dead as soon as possible. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this updated deck profile here, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like and comment down below. And with that guys, I will see you all next time. Look forward to tons of new deck profiles, some old leaders updated by Universe 9, and some Universe 9, Set 9, and some completely new decks from the 9th set. So with that guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and you've all been released.